Radioactive RC. As you can see, I'm in the workshop. Happy days. I've got a little bit of maintenance I need to do to my 2.75 composite ARF SU31. Now, while I haven't been flying this plane that much, it's developed a bit of play in the elevator hinge pin. This is not uncommon. It's easy to rectify, and generally, if you're fortunate enough, the aluminium hinge pin that passes through the phenolic plates here just needs replacing. Now, on other occasions, the holes become worn in the phenolic plate and you need to bush them, such is the case with this one. So how do you do that? It's not a difficult process to do. I'll show you how to do that. There's a couple of different methods you can use. I've tried various different methods, but these two I find the most reliable. Now, one way is to use these little nylon insert bushes. They're made by McMaster-Carr in the USA. Easy to get in America, very difficult to get in the Southern Hemisphere. I got these from the guys at DO Australia. These are easy to fit, easy to replace if you have a problem, and they're very cost effective. Another method is to use a small bearing. These bearings are a little problematic, a little bit expensive, but once you put them in, you shouldn't have to replace these for the rest of the aircraft's life, unless you start dunking the thing in the water and getting the tail all rusty. But in general, these are a lifetime fix, but it is expensive. It's a little more problematic when you actually go fitting them too. The problem with them is, here's one I've inserted into a hinge plate for you. At the back of it, you end up with very little material around the outside once the bearing goes in. Now, the problem is when it's in service, the problem is when you're actually boring the holes and all the hinge plates, it's quite easy to get the drill snagged and you tear this off and you end up breaking the hinge plate and it's got to be replaced. So it's a little more difficult to do. So I tend to stick with the nylon bushes. I find them a little easier. But that's another alternative if you're looking for it. So today we're going to fit these little nylon bushes, and what we'll end up with is a surface. Here's one I've prepared with zero slop, and they're easy to maintain. You can service it quite easy, replace the bushes if they become worn, which, to be honest, they do last quite a few years. But I'm going to show you the process, how to get on with this, how to do it, and I'll show you how easy it actually is. Okay, so here we have the elevator off and just the hinge pin sitting through the phenolic plates. Now these are quite sloppy, there's lots of movement in these, so they're all going to need to be bored out. The pin is a little worn, but predominantly it's these phenolic plates that need to be bored out. Now these little bushes here, when they're in place, this hole needs to be bored out to 5.2 mil. 5.2 mil is not that difficult to do. You can get these drill bits just about anywhere. That's the easiest way to do it, but you want to make sure that you get this nice and centered. Now my preferred method is you can use a step drill. These step drills go up in 2 mil increments generally. This makes the job a little easier using a step drill, or you can use a centering drill. I prefer to use a centering drill. This little centering drill here makes it easy to get it in, bore the hole in the middle, and it'll make the whole process a little more simpler. So what we'll do is I'll bore it out with this, and then I'll take it out to 5.2 with the 5.2mm drill bit, and let's get started. Now the outer side here is the easiest one to do. You can do this with your handy drill. Get your drill bit in there and just bore him through. Pretty much that's that one done. That's fairly easy. All we need to do now is go past, put a pass through with the 5.2mm drill bit. All these other ones are a little bit more problematic. Trying to get a drill into here, particularly one this short, you end up snagging the chuck on the end of it here, and you could tear open the edges, so be a little bit careful when you're doing this. So we'll do these by hand. Okay, I'll show you how to do this. It's a little simpler, and this is one tool I like to use. It's a ream. Now if you haven't used one of these before, they usually use them for RC cars, for boring holes and not in Lexan bodies and stuff. Now this one's been well used for punching lots of fiberglass holes in, but you can undo this and you can fit in the drill bit, and it makes it a great holder handle for pulling the drill through. I'll show you. All you do is undo him from here, pop him out, get the drill out of the hand drill, and you can just pop him in place here. Screw him in. Job's done. Then to get into here, it's a little easier. You've got a good handle to hold on to. Because this drill's nice and sharp, it'll go through quite quickly. Be careful when you're pushing it, you don't want to push too hard because you can actually snap off the phenolic plate. Now this has gone through already, so that was an easy process. Now we need to do these other two in the centre. Okay, done. Now the next step to do is take that drill bit out, put in the 5.2, lock him in place, and away you go. Same at the other end. I'll shorten this up a little bit to get in between. So now we've done that, we'll just clean these up a little bit and we'll get ready to push a bush in. So now that your holes are drilled, you just need to clean up the phenolic plates a little bit with the sandpaper, just to get the rough edges off them. And we'll get ready to insert a bush. Okay, we want to insert the bushes. So you want the flange part of the bush to be coming from the side that the hinge pin's been pushed in. That way when you're trying to push it through, you can't actually physically push it out. Now these are easy to get in. These are slotted. Just sit one end in. Push him home. That's him in. It's that easy. So we'll do all the rest. And that's them all done. So let's test fit the hinge pin. Here we've got a nice new hinge pin. And we'll slot him through the first one. You can see it goes through nice and easy. And it's slot free. Let's put the elevator back on. If you find the elevator's a little bit too tight to get over the edge of the bushes, you can relieve these slots a little bit. Just get your small file and you get in between there and just open it up a little. Just do this a little at a time until you come up with the right gap. So you've got the elevator ready, get your new hinge pin, put a little bit of lube on it, push them down in place. If it gets a little tight, use a ball driver that'll fit inside it, that'll give it a little bit of strength because this aluminium will bend easy, and you'll find it a little easier to push down in place then. Done. Here we go. Slop free. Okay, so there we have it. It's taken less than an hour. Elevator's now slop free. Move nice and freely. Wasn't that difficult to do. Hope to see you next time.